Breaking news, my lovely, wonderful people. In fact, France and the US have perfectly set a trap for ECOWAS to go into a total war in the region. Northern elders warns Tinubu. We brought you up to speed that the North is very skeptical about the US unusual support for Tinubu to go ahead and mobilize army from all over the countries of ECOWAS to go into Niger, where we recently had a coup plot against the president, who is still being held hostage in the presidential villa back in Niger. Tinubu, being the chairman of ECOWAS, has been told by the US that they are strongly behind him. Northern elders have said they are strongly behind you. Excuse me. What has been the response of the West in Ukraine? If you understand, if you go through memory lane, what is going on between Ukraine and Russia is because of the whole NATO thing. Okay, Ukraine wants to join, the West of the West, and Russia says, no, they'll be spying on us. Don't do that. And but before you could say, that is not our focus for today, let's get into the main agenda, as the North is warning Tinubu, don't plunge us into more than we can anticipate right now. There is a lot on our plate already. You get me now? Let's get all the details. France and the US have I take that again. France and the US have perfectly set a trap for ECOWAS to go into a total war in the region. Northern elders want Tinubu, stay clear. Don't plunge Nigeria into more suffering than it is already. According to the news that was published by Vanguard newspaper, it was reported that the authorities of the heads of state government of the economic communities of West African states, ECOWAS, today issued a 7 days ultimatum to the military in Niger Republic to restore the President Mohamed Bazoum to office. It was reported that his decision to the extraordinary section of the authority that was presided over by the chairman, who happens to be Nigeria's president, Asiwaju Ahmed Bola Tinubu, in Abuja, following his deliberation on development in the country, where President Mohamed Bazoum has been held by members of the Presidential Guard for days now. And if the Niger president is not released within 7 days, ECOWAS will use military forces, that is, military from all ECOWAS states, against Niger. However, why northern elders who happens to be looking at the development very carefully, reacting to this matter, says what they see is that the France and the United States of America have succeeded in their plans. They want to set Africa against itself, as they see that more African leaders are becoming enlightened and want to put things in place to better Africa and to make the region work for itself, to make better life and make Africa the envy of other regions. He said the West, under France and the United States, have perfectly set a trap for ECOWAS to put a total war in the region. Any mistake of military intervention in Niger Republic, we are done for. Any military coup that lasts beyond 24 hours becomes successful. At that point, the military would have secured the approval of all stakeholders of the country, trying any military means of restoring order means a total war against your neighboring partner. Niger is very close to Nigeria. In fact, Buhari constructed rails from Nigeria to Niger. The people are happy. They are jubilating. You are interfering. He said, with what is going on right now, we want to shoot against our own very self. We need to be careful how we trade. They ask Nigerians to be very careful, especially Nigeria's president, feeling like a chairman and taking decision. Imagine the influx of refugees from Niger into Nigeria. With our current debt state already, the situation of the country will be worse than imagined. Insecurity will not just skyrocket, it will be in the clouds. To mention but a few: Can you handle it? Bola Ahmed Tinubu, be wise. Don't fall into the trap of France and the United States of America, who are putting pressure on ECOWAS to wage war against their neighbor. Nigeria will be at the receiving end. Tinubu, you are not certain of your presidency. Don't add more to what you already have. Your cup is overflowing already. They said if you make any mistake in involving your military, which has not adequately protected Nigeria, not even the North alone, you want to send them into another country, a West African country, the best you can do is have a negotiation with these people. Why concluding, one of the elder men, Adamu, said, the truth about the matter is that West Africa has failed to protect its own democracy. And our own opinion and option now is to learn from the failure of the affected countries and prevent such from spreading around the region. Allow the issue to settle itself. So now, northern elders, their conclusion be that they say from what they sit down, what they see, Tinubu, you are done for if you join yourself into what they not call you for. He said you go find cry, you not go see. You go look up, you go look ground. The sky will be looking at you and will be smiling at you, and you will be what devastated. He said the mistake where you won't make, so whether you don't understand or you know you understand the degree of the mistake where you won't make, so you won't allow the West to push you. Go and ask Ukraine. Ukraine thought that by joining NATO that, if anything happened, the whole of Europe or, the West will come and back them. They are fighting their battle themselves. Highest you hear is messages on radio and television. That's all the message you hear. Oh, we are putting sanctions. Who help? The country they sanction, so they are okay. Yes, there may be some itches here and there. Mostly it's the citizens that bear the bonds. It's not the president. Those ones are still well taken care of. If they want cucumber, they will still get it. Now, the people now scarcity day for, not before who they presidential villa. You get me now? So let's not allow ourselves to become scapegoats in the hands of those whose major duty is, doing check and balance and trying to use Africa, to keep Africa in one permanent place so that they can continue to succeed and thrive in their mandate of keeping the people in bondage, even at today. Chains. The chain regime is still very much on. Oh, you think it has forgotten? You are deceiving yourself now. Think about it. Africa is one of the wealthiest continents in the world and the poorest. Think about it. You'd say now ordinary. Leave us a comment. Say, God bless you. Don't forget to like us, share, subscribe. May you share the news. God bless you. Bye for now.